Good morning, everyone. Come on in and join us. And for those of you who might be joining us on the replay, thanks so much for coming and checking us out. We do try, and listen, you'll always hear me say we. That's because typically in reference to my business, I'm discussing my husband and myself. So I'm so used to saying we. So there you go. So we are typically here. Monday through Friday is usually our goal. Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to come into Buffy's Toolbox group and check us out. If you are in fact a Premier Designs jeweler, that is a jewelers only group. Okay, so for those of you who might be checking us out who are not jewelers, maybe you're just checking us out on YouTube or things like that, that's okay too. We love you. We appreciate you. So thankful for you coming and checking us out. And it looks like we do have some of our live viewers popping in and joining us. So good morning, good morning, good morning. So as you come in, make sure you say hello. Let me know you're here. Looks like my girl Sharon just popped on. Hey, Sharon. Girl, listen, I got the graduation party announcement thing in the mail. Unfortunately, we won't be able to be there, but thank you so much for thinking of us and thank you for sending that. I so appreciate it. So as you come in, say hello. But today we're going to be discussing a little bit about vision, and what I'm going to be sharing with you is actually notes from the 2014 National Rally. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Angela. Look, we had all kinds of people popping on. Yes, thank you so much for that, Sharon. Okay, so good morning, Angela. So we are going to be discussing okay, listen, we've already kind of talked about the needing a vision and kind of what to do once you have that vision. So if you're thinking, when did we talk about vision? We're talking about your goals, y'all. Talking about goals. Okay, so I know we've talked about that, but today we're going to talk about how to protect your vision. Good morning. We're going to talk about having to protect your vision. And this was a training that Elizabeth Draper had done at the 2014 National Rally. So basically, I want to share my notes with you guys on this. Okay, so this goodness came from her. I'm simply sharing the takeaways that I got from that training. Okay, all right. So the first thing was, obviously, you need vision to have purpose. Okay. And we've discussed this before, that especially within, not only even just within your business, okay, but in your life, like you have to have some kind of vision or some kind of goal for what you want to see have happen in your life and in your business. And here's the thing, if you're not doing those things, you know what happens? You just live day to day. Chances are you're probably going to be just kind of, I don't want to say skating by. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say skating by, but you're just like cruising. Like you're not trying to excel necessarily. You're not like, does that make sense to y'all? Like, I mean, just think about that. Okay. Just think about that. That if you do not have vision or goals in your life or in your business, yes, thank you, Alicia. You're just surviving. You're just going day to day, and chances are you're not going to be doing anything extraordinary. Okay, and we've had this conversation before, that God did not create you to be mediocre. He did not. Okay, so if you're thinking that, you know what, that's all I was created for, was to basically live, work, pay taxes, and die, that's not why God has you here. Okay, so if you feel like that's all you're doing at this point, then you need to look at your vision. Okay, all right. You also, when it comes to your vision, you got to be contagious. You got to have that contagious attitude. So here's the thing. All attitudes can be contagious, but is yours worth catching? All right. Is yours worth catching? When you think about the attitude that you have, do you have, and this might sound like a pun, but I'm not intending it to be. when we're talking about something being contagious. But do you have a snotty attitude? Okay. If you do, just know and understand, like, that is going to, that's going to cause other people to possibly have a snotty attitude, or they're just not going to want to spend time with you at all because they're going to be like, you know what? I really don't want to catch that negativity. Like, I don't want to be involved in that. All right. Because here's what happens. All right. If you have a person that is just on cloud nine, they've just had an amazing day, they've just been blessed beyond all measure, and then you come in with an attitude that's all the way down here, do you know what happens? You would hope that this person can bring you up here. But more times than not, what happens is you might come up just a touch and they're going to come down. Okay. Now, you don't want to be responsible for doing that to somebody else, right? You don't want to be responsible for bringing others down. You want to be someone who encourages and lifts others up. All right. So make sure that your attitude does that. If your attitude is not contagious, why, like, nobody's going to want anything to do with you. All right. So just like you want your attitude to be contagious, your vision should be contagious. Like, you want to be so excited about the vision of what you have in your mind that you eventually want to see come to fruition, that other people are like, oh my gosh, like, I want to see this happen for her. Like, I want to be a part of that. I want something like that to happen in my life. Okay. So think about that. If your vision is only here in your head and you are not sharing it with people and you're not being excited about it and you don't have something tangible, whether it's a dream board or whatever, even if it's a Pinterest board, I don't care what you have, but something that allows it to be a visual, not only for you, but for other people that you are sharing your dream and your vision and your goals with. Okay. All right. The other thing is you have to know where you're going. When it comes to having vision, this is how you know where you're going. If you have no vision, you have no destination, you're not going to know when you get there. We've talked about that too. Also, having vision is going to produce determination if the vision is actually your vision. Okay. So here's the thing. There are, as an example, one of the things that I had always wanted to do is I had always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. All right. Now, I know that to some people that sounds strange, but the idea of somebody else raising my children for 50 hours a week, I was just not cool with that. I didn't want to have to miss out on all that time with my kids. For some people, that is not their dream. Their dream is not to be a stay-at-home mom. Their dream is to have a career. And that's okay too. All right. So, but here's the thing. I'm not going to be able to get someone excited about being a stay-at-home mom if that is not their vision. Does that make sense to y'all? Like, I'm not going to, no one else is going to be able to be determined to get out and work because of what my vision is. So make sure that your vision is your own. Okay. Make sure that your vision is actually the dream that you want, not what you think somebody else thinks you should want. I hope that makes sense. All right. Also, you need to be, in order to be able to protect your vision, you need to be better informed. Okay. So here's what she meant by that. You need to know that there is an enemy, but he has already been defeated. So because he has already been defeated by God, he's willing to do everything and anything he possibly can to try to defeat you. Okay? Because if he can defeat you, if he can break you, if he can pull you away from God in any way, shape, or form, then he feels like that is like a little win for him. Okay? So know that he is a vision destroyer and a vision distractor. Okay. So again, he's going to do things, meaning you're going to have naysayers in your life. Thank you for that note taking, Alicia. You are awesome. I love that. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. He's going to try to distract you with naysayers. He's going to try to distract you with doubts, with fears, with insecurities, with all of these things. He is going to attempt to distract you. If you know that those distractions are going to come, then guess what? You can be better prepared for it. And when it happens, you can look at it as exactly what it is, which is an attempted distraction by the enemy. And when you can look at it that way, you don't have to give it much time, attention, or anything. You can just look at it and be like, you know what? I'm not going to get myself caught up in that because that is of the enemy. I'm going to put my focus back over here and get my focus back on my vision. Okay? All right. One of the things that sometimes happens with vision is nearsightedness. All right. With nearsightedness, you can only see near things and you can't see the far out vision. So you need to be careful when it comes to your vision that you are not only looking at what's right here, but that you're also keeping in mind what that bigger vision is. Because again, the devil will do everything he can to get you focused on what's right here instead of what's coming in the distance. Okay. So some of the devil's tricks that he will use, and if you can relate to any of these, just give me some hearts, okay? All right, so some of the devil's tricks are expecting everyone to be like you. Expecting everyone to be like you, okay? I'm going to switch that around just a little bit and say another one of the devil's tricks is expecting everyone to like you. And when they don't, you suddenly start feeling insecure and start worrying and start like, why don't they like me and everything else, okay? All right, another thing that the devil uses as a trick to discourage and distract you from your vision is comparison. Y'all, the comparison trap is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And listen, I'm not even going to say that I don't get caught up in that myself. Do y'all know how many people have been in Premier like half the time or less that I have been in, and they are in leadership levels higher than me? Okay, trust me, I see this on a regular basis, and you think for one moment that I don't have that little fleeting thought in my head that goes, crap, like I got to get my junk together. Like, it's obviously possible. Like, look at what she's doing. It's obviously possible. But here's the thing. My journey is not her journey. Her journey is not mine. Okay? So I cannot stay there for too long. It's one thing for me to at least look at it and go, you know what? That gives me hope because that shows me it's possible to do it in a quick amount of time. But, and it also lets me know that, hey, you might want to go talk to her and see if she's got some tips, okay? But I can't get caught up in it as in looking at it as though somehow I am inferior because I'm not at the same level she is within the same amount of time and all of that stuff, okay? Kelly says, I bet they got where they are watching and learning from you. Listen, I truly believe that those people got to where they are because they've just worked hard. They have just worked hard. Okay. And I will be very honest that sometimes I go through my little spells where it's like, oh, I didn't have a show for like a week or two, so I'm good. And I just kind of coast. And then I suddenly realize that you're an idiot because if that show cancels, now what? So then I get myself back in high gear. But it's, again, you got to be looking at that. This next one. This is, I'm telling you, if this does not ever wind up being like the death of me, I will be so surprised. Okay. So the next trick that the devil uses, procrastination. How many fellow procrastinators do I have out there? Listen, I like to say that I am a reformed procrastinator because I'm in the process of really trying to work on this. But there are times where I fall back into those old habits. And when I start just kind of feeling like, oh, I realize that I've fallen back into that, and I need to work on it harder. Okay. So that is, I'm telling you, that is something that I struggle with. Now, I will say that I did find a quote one time that said something along the line of, and I don't even think it was a quote. I think it was from an article, like a study that was done, but they had said that procrastinators are really just people who are so optimistic that they think they have enough time to do the things they need to do. It's not that they are truly trying to procrastinate. It's that they are so optimistic that they're going to be able to get it done and that they have plenty of time to do it, that it looks like they're just waiting to the last minute. And that's not really where it comes from in our head. Like, I don't say to myself, oh, I just really want to wait till the last minute because that's just what I want to do. Like, that's not why I do it. I do it because I truly think I have more than enough time to be able to get this done. And then I suddenly realize, oh crap, I got to do it right now. So I truly think that's where it comes from. But I also think it is a trick that the enemy uses, because the more that he can procrastinate you and get you to where you are just putting things off and putting things off and putting things off, think about how much this can cost you over a length of time. And y'all, there will be, I am going to do another training on procrastination, because I'm still working on it. So I feel like it's something I need to get into. So that will be coming. Another one that the devil uses is fatigue. Fatigue. Okay, so here's the thing. The reason why he uses this is because, again, how many of you have a full-time job or have things going on during the day, things like that, and by the time you get home, you are just like, whew, now listen, I just don't even feel like doing anything. Like, I'm just tired. I'm just exhausted and this and that. But here's the funny thing. How many of you have ever been exhausted prior to going to a jewelry show, and in the back of your mind, you're sitting there going, man, I would truly love nothing more than to just be able to stay home and take a nap. Like, if I could just stay home and take a nap tonight, that would be awesome. But what happens when you go, Alicia, listen, you have total reason to feel fatigue right now. Okay. But here's the thing. But what happens then when you go to that show? You start serving those ladies and you start doing things, and before you know it, you have caught a second wind, if you will. Okay. And I really don't think it is anything to do with catching a second wind. I think it's when the devil is trying to prevent you from doing something, and he just places this just fatigue, this exhaustion, whatever, to keep you from going out and doing the things that you are going to find joy in, and to keep you from going out and doing the things that you are going to be able to be a blessing to somebody else for. Okay. So to me, I just go, that makes a lot of sense. And I really needed this reminder, because I can't tell you the number of times where I'm like, I'm just so tired and I don't even know why, and blah, blah, blah. Listen, it's because the devil is trying to keep me from doing the things that God has put me on this path to do. All right. God did not put me here to take naps. Are they nice to have every once in a while? Oh yeah. Okay. But that's not why he put me here. He put me here to help build his kingdom and to have a relationship with him. So if I am always too tired to do the things that he's put me on a path to do, that's not going to be glorifying and honoring to him, right? So therefore, I need to be able to push through that and go do it anyway. Okay. And chances are, once I go start doing it, suddenly I'm going to have energy. I'm going to have, that lift that I was needing to get my butt up off the couch, if you will. All right. Okay. The next thing that the devil will try to do is he will do his best to make you think that you are not a leader, and that you cannot lead, and that you should not lead. And y'all, I cannot even tell you the number of times that these thoughts creep into my head. Okay. I'm just going to put that out there right off the bat, because I have been there. Okay. So know that he will do that, because again, if he can do that, he can prevent you from doing the things that you should be doing. He can prevent you from feeling like you can do this. Okay? All right. And the last thing that he will do is he will just try to discourage you. In any way, shape, or form, he will try to discourage you. Period. Okay? So you want to keep your eye on that as well. So how do we have 20/20 vision? All right. So how do we have 20/20 vision? The first is be able to see the big picture. And if you can't see the big picture in your mind's eye, then you need to see it in a way that's down on paper, or that's going to be a visual for you some way, somehow. Okay. So you need to be able to see the big picture. You also are going to have 20/20 vision when you have a passion for what you do. If what you are currently doing you're not passionate about, change it. Do something different, okay? So I know this is not necessarily what this is referring to, but just as an example, okay? There were points in my business where I was doing something because it's what somebody told me I should be doing. So I tried it, and I attempted it for quite some time. And in doing that, so just I'll use my booking as an example, okay? I had changed doing basically Deal or No Deal, and was trying Chance and Honor, and was trying the envelopes, and was trying the dice game, and was trying all of these different things. And for whatever reason, I couldn't get passionate about that particular booking activity, okay? Any of those, anything other than Deal or No Deal, okay? I could not get passionate about doing any of those things. So what happened? I stopped getting bookings. I went from averaging 3 bookings per show to 0 or possibly 1 show per show. And it was usually the hostess that was rebooking from herself. It wasn't typically a new booking. Okay, so I went back to Deal or No Deal, and guess what happened? I went back to averaging 3 shows per show. All right, so it's really kind of funny when you think about it that, again, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, your energy level is not going to be up. Your enthusiasm is not going to be up. Your attitude is not going to be worth catching if you're not doing something that you're passionate about doing. So you have to be passionate about what it is you're doing. You also need to have a winning attitude. Instead of saying, well, I need to do this, or I have to do this. Okay. So instead of saying, I have to go to training, maybe say, awesome, I get to go to training. So change your I have to I get to. Have an attitude of gratitude on a regular basis. Okay. Especially when it comes to things in your business. Don't have this attitude of, I have to go to the post office again. So you know what? I get to go to the post office because I'm serving ladies. I get to go to the post office because I have a business. Okay. I get to go to the post office because my business is flourishing enough that I have things I have to send out. And I love that. Okay. So you want to have a different attitude. I get to, not I have to. All right. Another one is people skills. You need to have people skills. And if you have a tough time having people skills, then you should be focusing on Psalm 141:3 that says, set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth, and keep watch over the door of my lips. All right. So if you struggle with being a people person, if you struggle with people skills, focus on that verse right there. Good morning, Missy. All right. Yes. Psalm 141:3. Okay. All right. And then, another thing that people who have 20/20 vision that you will see from them is they work and they are proactive. They don't wait to react. They are proactive in what they're doing when they have that 20/20 vision. Okay. So that's just it. You want to become someone who is proactive, not reactive. All right. And also, it would not be a Draper training if it didn't also include have a happy to do it attitude. Okay. So have a happy to do it attitude, not I have to again, but happy to do. All right. And then she also suggested that you have a regular vision checkup, just like you need to have your vision checked every, 2 years, I think is what it's supposed to be. You can tell who doesn't go, right? So have a regular vision checkup. So constantly be asking yourself, like every once in a while, I shouldn't say constantly, but always be asking yourself, at least I would say probably once every 3 months. All right. You want to be able to ask yourself, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? The next one would be, what do I need to do to get there? Okay. So again, this is that setting a goal and then creating the actionable steps to get there. All right. The next one is, am I doing what needs done? And if you're not, ask yourself why or why not. All right. If you have this goal and you have these actionable steps and you're not taking them, that's when you need to ask yourself, for one, is this really my vision? Is this really something that I want to go for? And if it is your vision and it's something you want to go for, you need to ask yourself, really, how committed are you to that vision if you're not doing what needs to be done in order to get to the vision that you have set? Okay. And then another one was, what am I initiating? So am I initiating, and am I going out seeking business, or am I sitting back waiting on business to come to me? What am I initiating? Am I initiating conversations with people? Am I initiating relationships with people? Okay. Another was, how many times this month have I shared Premier? So when you're looking at your vision, when you're doing that regular vision checkup, ask yourself, how many times this month have you even shared Premier? And if your answer is 0, then that might mean that you don't have the vision that you should be having. That might mean that your vision is not at 2020. Okay. That might mean that you need to do a recheck on that vision to ask yourself, why have I not shared anything about Premier with anyone this month? Okay. So y'all, that's what I have for you. And I am not going to stay on here because I have a daughter who is literally getting ready to walk out the door here in just a hot second, and I want to make sure that I get a chance to say goodbye to her. So I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for being here. I do look forward to being here tomorrow, and as I said, keep an eye out for that procrastination training. I'm going to try to get that done sometime within the next week. So just be on the lookout for it. So thanks so much, guys, for being here. So appreciate it. And I will make sure that this gets up on YouTube so you can share this out with anybody that you would like to. Thanks so much for the hearts, the likes. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.